Nicola Sturgeon, SNP government, promised to make Scotland stronger and free. Nicola Sturgeon this August will bring in the sinister named person law. It will snoop on how parents bring up kids. It has caused outrage amongst parents as the state will have more control over their children than they will. It is taking freedom from parents, from our mothers and fathers. Her U-turn has made this optional now because of protests, but the law still stands as the horror stories are coming out. Free prescriptions was a good idea by Sturgeon. Free medication has rocketed NHS costs by 25% to £900 million per year. It has starved our NHS of badly needed funds as services break under the strain. This will raise your taxes as demand is increasing. Would you want to pay more tax than other countries in the UK? Sturgeon's free university fees looked a good idea, but came at the expense and closure of 152,000 tech college places. Taking from the poorly educated to give the high achievers is madness and totally unjust. There are now more potholes across Scotland's road than there has ever been. Why? Because SNP have frozen council budgets, not for 1, but for 9 years. Scotland's high streets are in decline in our villages and towns. More than ever before, our high street shops are closing. Communities are suffering. Why? Because SNP have given little or no rate relief. SNP Transport Minister Derek Mackay led one of the biggest transportation disasters in Scottish history. He compromised on the refurbishment on Forth Road Bridge, causing to shut for 3 months. The cost was a devastating £300 million loss to Scottish businesses. Sturgeon accused UK government of too much austerity, but because the SNP government cannot manage its own austerity, Scotland will have £10.9 billion black hole in its finances. That is worse than Greece's finances, the basket case of Europe. Businesses are closing down and moving down south as a result of this, because of the uncertainty, because of the threat of recession, because of an incompetent SNP socialist government. Currently in Scotland, we have a one-party state. SNP have been in power for 8 years and are likely to continue for another 4 years. Their government's term has caused more internal quarrelling, grievance and division in our country than at any time in the past 300 years. Scottish history will call it the Disaster Party. On May the 5th, Scotland has a choice to vote. To vote for suffering and economic hardship or for better financial security, better health, better education, better respect for the family, restoring our communities and paying off our debts. Ruth Davidson is the only party leader that can deliver, the only leader that has consistently stood up for the Union, the only leader that has reliably fought against independence, the only leader that has stood up for the 2 million Scots who stood up as a 55% majority voting to stay with the UK. Ruth Davidson is the only person left that can take on Nicola Sturgeon's increasingly autocratic SNP government. For a better and freer Scotland, vote for Ruth Davidson's Scottish Conservative Party.